Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
You always use that active when like defenders. I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man.
Hey, turn that off, man. Hey, people deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for joining me each and every time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Appreciative to you lot tuned in, whether you're on YouTube. Smash that like button. Quicker we get to 200 likes, the quicker we look at the transfer business. Or if you're on Twitch, thank you very much for supporting the thing on Twitch. Because if you think the work rate is brazy on YouTube, you should head over there on Twitch. Obviously, we're watching Love Island again tonight, people, and things like that. Across YouTube and Twitch, I think Arsenal are playing on Friday in a pre-season friendly, so just make sure you're aware of that. An hour or so before kickoff, I'll be going live and watching that with you lot. So content, and more content. Hopefully everyone's doing well and safe. I hope you're having a progressive week where your personal and professional lives are. Hope you and your loved ones are all healthy. So yeah, man, apart from that, there's not much more to say. Obviously, Milinkovic-Savic looks like the new dream seller at Arsenal. Me personally, I'm pessimistic on these guys until Dons are holding the shirt. Yeah, it is what it is. And Milinkovic-Savic, he's one that's always linked with us in United and to a degree Chelsea, and there's no real tangible proof or any legs to it. Obviously, where Italy is concerned, anything that comes out of Italy, you know, Locatelli, Vlahovic, Xhaka to Roma, Arthur Melo, and I'm sure there's other examples. We all know, again, we're taking around the houses when it comes to Italian transfer news and Arsenal, the Italian clubs. You know, try Bandulu us. Obviously, I actually think Arsenal was in the right about not selling Xhaka on the cheap. Obviously, Fiorentina and Torreira acting, well, not Torreira, but they're acting up after just getting Vlahovic money. So it's, you know, where Arsenal's concerned, they kind of clown us around, in my opinion, in Italy. So I kind of tend to watch it with a pinch of salt and not get too invested as much as you can say. But I mean, come on now, man. Milinkovic-Savic, I look, keep pointing out 11 goals, 11 assists. I do think fans, like a lot of fans, when you're linked with a player, you start overrating them, putting them at a level they're not. But I do, obviously, he's got lovely technical qualities, lovely physical qualities. Them Serbian man's mentality is different as well. So the mentality is gonna be there. You can probably bet your bottom dollar that he is going to be on it and getting games away from home. You know, obviously, he's going to cost a pretty penny, seeing 45, 50, 60, 70, 80 million. And you know what? If we're going to overspend in the area, one would say it would be the midfield, like a midfielder or midfielders that are physically imposing, that are technically on another level and closer to those of, you know, Kovacic at Chelsea, Thiago at Liverpool. Obviously, City will be here all day. We need to revamp that midfield. I can't lie. Listen, Arsenal can go after Lisandro Martinez as much as they want. But I would rather see us, even though I don't think we're getting him, I'd rather see us overspending midfield than at centre-half, because take nothing away from Lisandro Martinez. Today, I see him talk about how he looks at Joshua Kimmich and his adaptability to play multiple positions as a guide point for his career. Obviously, if he's able to challenge Gabriel for that left-sided centre-back, if Arteta wants that, you know, he's nicknamed the Butcher, South American mentality, good on the ball, a bit unorthodox defensively at times, lack of height, but he looks all right. Can fill in that left back as well, even though he's only played there 12 times. So I'm not belittling that, but I just feel we just bought a centre-half for 50 million. If Arteta wants that and it's better than what we have, fair play. You always want to improve, but we just bought a centre-back for 50 million. What are we buying the next one for, really? The midfield. You're not going to see Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Saka, all these dons get to a certain level, and you're not going to see any defenders who you rate or don't rate get to a certain level until that midfield is addressed. Ramsdale is our first attacker. Gabriel Jesus, assuming he starts up front, is our first defender. But it's the midfield battle week in, week out, day in, day out, which is going to decide whether we get there. And, you know, I'm not here to talk about Xhaka. I don't think he's as good as his Xhaka sexuals make out. I don't think he's as bad as some people make out. I do think he's scapegoated at times. I think he should be a rotation option and nothing more. But when Xhaka is playing week in, week out, you know what you signed up for. With Thomas Partey, injuries is a serious issue. I do think Fabio Vieira, Odegaard and Smith Rowe, all of them different various ranges, but within the short to medium term, they should all be able to learn to play as a number 8. Whether you're bringing Savic or Tielemans or something to the club, just make it happen. In an ideal world, or in my ideal world, I would have liked 3 midfielders. Take nothing away from El Nene. I think a serious club, not saying we're not, gets another number 6, and that's that way El Nene is concerned. I think you get 2 number 8s in here, fair enough. Fabio Vieira, you could throw him into that. I must admit, I do want to see Zinchenko rumors again, folks, as well, people. So it is what it is. 1 second, people. Big up you lot tuning. Keep your comments coming. Let me just come in and out, man. What's going on here? All right, back again. Nah, man, we're a serious club. We're Arsenal flipping football club, man. Savic ain't coming to play Europa. Well, I don't think he's coming to play Europa, but if you want, I think the vast majority of the rumors are the fact of him and his agent and everyone, they're doubling down on trying to leave Lazio. He's going to cost a lot of money, more than I think Arsenal are prepared to pay. We'll get into it. The sooner we hit 200 likes, the quicker we get into it. But it seems nothing is safe until Tielemans is holding his shirt. But it seems like Arsenal deem that Tielemans is a case of when they go for him, not if. So if you know Tielemans is a banker and you was quite aggressive in your pursuit for Rafinha, whether you believe in the Gnabry rumors, you had Noah Lang, you had Porto's Pepe, you had Gakpo, you had guys that are not on the level of Gnabry and Rafinha, but they could all play out wide. So that tells you whether that's with news coming out that we kind of want to sell Reece Nelson. We know where we're at with Pepe. That tells you that Arteta wants someone that can get goals from out wide, play instead of Saka, and challenge Saka really and truly. So maybe the club deemed, you know what, Tielemans can be done for about 25 million. That difference between what you would pay for Savic, allegedly based on reports, and Tielemans, maybe that money can get slapped on the next winger or whatever areas Arteta wants to address in the team, because the goalposts are going to shift. You did not get Rafinha. You know, big up you for trying, but you did, much like Vlahovic, you didn't get Rafinha. Lisandro Martinez, I'm tired of hearing about it, if I'm completely honest with you. 1 minute it's United, 1 minute it's Arsenal. If you get him, fair play, you do your thing. If you don't get him, you need to target another centre-back with similar characteristics to him for cheaper, or someone that's more of an orthodox left-back. Again, I've previously said, if all the areas, like obviously up front with Jesus, centre-mid, the 2 pressing priorities were addressed, then I would be screaming for Arsenal to sign a left-back, a backup right-back, and a right winger, really. And I'm prepared to concede if we can get a winger and the left back, I'd say them 2 are the priorities. Ben White can put in it, can do a job at right back, rightly or wrongly. I think if you asked me at a point last season, I would have said right back was more important. But again, there's too much of a drop off when He's gone in a defensive aspect and an attacking aspect as well. And Ben White's obviously at Leeds and Brighton did that. So you could do that again. There might be a reality where maybe Tomiyasu, unfortunately, hopefully is not the case, is injured or his form is iffy. Ben White's playing well. Saliba and Gabriel are playing well. So he says, you know what, go over and play right back, Ben White, which you did, really. It does. I wouldn't say it baffles me looking for another centre-back for reasons I've just said, but yeah, it kind of does, really, for want of better terms, really. It actually does baffle me somewhat, but fair play. If that's what the man them want, that's what the man them want, innit? Shout out to you lot. Get your opinions, etc., etc. Rim, what are you lot saying? Davey, I saw you as the first comment. Morning. Good morning, my brother from another mother. Waiting for you to do your thing. I appreciate the support, my dude, man. Interested in discussions hype. Trust. This is why, it's just a discussions hype with you lot. We talk about anyone we're linked with. We arouse our imaginations of how they might fit into the club. But beyond that, once this hour or so live stream that we're here for is done, that's it. If Arsenal want to take it beyond that, get fees agreed, signed, get confirmed medicals, dot I's and cross T's, sort out visas for players that might need that when they're starting a new job, which is joining a new team. That's all different conversations. So these are just discussions for discussions hype. Everybody's interested in everyone. Everyone's interested in all the good players. You got to put money down and get things done, really. And until that happens, it's a myth, really. You know, I would say out of all the rumors so far this window, you know, obviously I'm pessimistic on them, but you couldn't help it but not get excited until obviously that fateful day where Chelsea got involved for Rafinha and Barca came back. You couldn't not help get a bit gassed about the Rafinha one. Gnabry, not so much, because I know that's more fan-led. I would love Gnabry back. You know, Gnabry's one of the reasons I started doing YouTube, really. So, yeah, it is what it is. Man, will hit 200 likes before stream. We'll be straight into the transfer news. It would be lovely to do that. DG, with the Martinez deal dragging on, would you now look to prioritize one or two central midfielders, then can look to pick up a left back and a winger near at the end of the window? I mean, the longer you leave it, unless you've done a scouting thing, the more you make it difficult, because the players you're buying off clubs, they're going to want to replace Dons as well. Just do it all at the same time, really, like other clubs, man. I would say if Martinez is acting, I would like us to focus more so on a fullback. If it's a fullback able to play at centre half or somewhere else, great, but I'd more want a left-sided centre back. I feel if we go into this season without adequate cover, and you know, I'd hope Tavares wakes up one day and becomes a serious left back. But if you don't address left back, if you don't address midfield on the best of days, much less when people are injured, you're signing up for the more of the same. And like last season, there'll be times where we're quality, you know, it's the sun shining, we're putting a run of form together, Arsenal fans are in dream mode. But when it gets to crunch time, you have to, in a nice way, you need to know how good your team is at its worst. And our worst case scenario is if Saka isn't scoring and them sort of man there, and if Partey, Tomiyasu and Tierney are not there, how good are we at our worst? There's not going to be too many times we're going to grind out results. Of course, technically we did that against Chelsea, West Ham United and Manchester United. But again, these things are bound to happen sometimes. This is the glorious thing of football. I don't think we signed two centre midfielders. I think it's one and done. I think you'd only sign two depending on what happens with Granit Xhaka, or if, you know, we're waiting for him being linked to teams in Italy all start again. I don't think you sign two midfielders. As I said, I think a different club signs two to three midfielders in this window, if I'm honest with you. I just feel you get a midfielder that plays on that left-hand side and revamps this. You know, you get the Milinkovic-Savic or the many centre mids we've been linked with. You've got Lokonga scope there to grow for another season. By all means, Partey's there. Odegaard could play there as well. Fair enough, you have got Fabio Vieira. I mean, worst comes to worst, man. If you could get Tielemans and Zinchenko, which ain't going to happen, I don't think it transforms our team, but I can maneuver with that. But with El Nene signing a new deal, with rightly so Lokonga being given a second season, with Xhaka being a favoured person on and off the field, probably unrealistic to expect two midfielders. So one and done. But if we could, sure, why not, bro? Man, looking fresh with that car. I needed two, man. I needed two. Sex symbols back, man. Hi, mate. I hope Arsenal can still get in 3 more players this window. The fact people letting Brentford get Aaron Hickey is beyond me. Left back, I can play right back too. It's true, but when you look at the news, we were just scouting him. We was never too intensified on getting him. It's a bit like when fans were getting upset about Basuma. You know, it's another conversation to talk about should Arsenal have went for him and all of these sort of things, which I advocate. But we heard the news that we're looking for someone that replaces Xhaka. You know, so and with El Nene signing a new deal, with us spending 17, 18, 20 mil on Lokonga, it was probably unrealistic to expect another sort of person that can play as a box-to-box or a 6. Mateus Nunes, that's a great signing for Chelsea, really and truly. It's a shame that we have to agenda him, man, really and truly. I don't think the media knows what Arsenal are doing, so we're linked with everyone. I mean, that's what it is, people, really and truly. Man said DG on loan with a 50 million option to buy from Fresh Trim FC just in time for the season start in the summer. Well done. Oh, my. Any news on Asensio? Always linked with him. Man said that you're doing FPL this year. We did it last year and the year before, and we'll be doing it this year, man. Street saying we're only in for Savic and Tielemans because of the incident speculation. Listen, Josh, please. I'm not saying you, but please. We're all aware of the emerging rumors and the reports that keep coming out and the speculation as to who it is or not. Me personally, I don't want to speak on things, especially sensitive things like that, until proper information is revealed. And obviously, because it's a sensitive case, details are not going to be emerged really and truly, or not going to emerge better yet. So we'll deal with that when we need to deal with it. We'll condemn who we need to condemn when it comes to that. first things first, the victim in this, whoever she is, alleged, you know, because we need to know what's going on. My sympathy is with her because she's the one that's unfortunately been subjected to this. So yeah, and I think a lot of people lack a moral compass. I mean, a lot of people are just speculating as to this player, that player, what the ramifications for their football team might be, not unless someone was, you know what happened. But again, I keep saying it every day. Please please allow me with these things. When more information comes out, we speak about such. Until then, it's all hypotheticals and things like that. And I don't want to take it there. But even with them sort of cases there, let's be honest, even on one hand, it's innocent until proven guilty. And if you go to a court of law and you're proven innocent, fair play, you've done that. But we all know the conviction rates around such a sensitive topic are quite low as well, really and truly. So please refrain from asking them questions. If you want to do research around any of that, please hit up Google and things. I don't know what's going on there. It's a football thing. So yeah, man, I know that's the last I've got to say on that in this live stream. Mods, please time out and block people that are on, people you see repeatedly talking about stuff. 433 is coming back, lads. Large up, everybody. Come on, I hope so. We buy a centre back to make sure Holding doesn't play. That's enough for me. I hear that. Listen, if you could have Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, this random Joe Bloggs who's a steady Eddie, I'm here for it. And then obviously Tomiyasu can fill in there. But then again, even if you get that, that's 4. Rob Holding can stay and be 5th, really and truly. I think obviously Saliba and Martinelli at some point are going to count as homegrown players. Technically, they're still young and we can take advantage of the laws and say that they don't need to be registered because they're under 21s. But what I mean by that is the quicker them man become homegrown. And ironically, one of you lot pointed out William Saliba has Gabriel in his middle as a middle name. There's no need to hang on to Rob Holding and all this hype and things. I don't think Holding's a bad player, but he's not good enough for what we're doing. And I'm a fan of Holding, even though he's meaty. But if you can make even by Arsenal standards, imagine if we couldn't make a profit on the 2 million we spent to Bolton and they're going to get a decent sell-on clause, there's something wrong with this football club. 420 of you locked in, people. Fantastic number for obvious reasons. If you know, you know. Hit the like button, people. As usual, thank you for all your support across Twitch and YouTube. And again, in particular, a lot of you have been donating. It doesn't matter if it's 50p or 50 billion people, which I wish one of you could really. I appreciate it. Don't know why. I don't know what conversation DG Nations had behind that, but I appreciate that with what you lot been doing, as well as your moral support and them things. We're at 104 likes. We're off to a great start. Unexpected high bills due if you ain't hit that like button. Keep your opinions, etc. coming. You lot on fire, man. Amazing. Bro, I'm gonna need a lot more than that. I'd bring in Onana. Well, there was appreciate that, armies. There was rumors around Onana, but we just heard with Arsenal, there was rumors that we were just doing this talking stuff. West Ham apparently have bidded or whatever. So I don't know, man. Allow Chris, but again, for Chris and them man there, again, I don't want to keep waffling about these things, but it's a case of integrity and it's a case of, rather than just being first on the scene and breaking down stuff, actually make sure that the news you're saying is proper, really and truly. But away from that, I ain't got nothing to say, man. There, my guy. Hope you are safe, well and safe. Shout out the Twitch gang, man. Exactly. And there's dons that do them things and they're caught in there's a footballer who went and played for Wraith Rovers. He wasn't convicted in criminal law, but he settled in civil court. But that's enough on that, man. Come on, shout out Matt and T. That's all we got to say on that. Hey, come on, stop making shit jokes with the prison FC thing, man. Like, come on. Like, do you know how shit your sense of humor has to be to run them sort of jokes? Like, come on, man. I know your dad must have been a money man, because no way your mum fell for your dad for his humor if you're a chip off the old block. Come on now, man. I like dark humor. Listen, I really like dark humor, but that's not dark humor. That's fucked. Didn't Asensio get? I think you mean didn't Asensio tore his ACL against us in preseason? No clue, man. He's a man that's. I've seen a lot of him. I've seen when him and Ceballos were playing for Spain's youth, and Asensio, where was he? You was at Mallorca. Dani Ceballos was obviously at Betis. I mean, it's difficult to say someone at 26 who's been at Madrid for a while now and won a Champions League or two in the league title. And there was a second where he was scoring decisive goals at 26 years of age now. It's a bit difficult to sit here and say he hasn't fulfilled his potential and played for his country. But I don't think Asensio has. It's obviously going to be difficult for obvious reasons to assert yourself at Madrid. But together with the injuries, the caliber of players they've had and the personalities, I don't think he really has. But there is quality in there. It's again the Asensio one. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is Spanish. We brought people off Madrid. Asensio, a bit different, but it's almost like the Odegaard thing, indirectly like Gabriel Jesus, where for one reason or another, they're not the main men or there's potential that hasn't been unlocked. So there's logic towards buying him. And obviously, as I said, Arteta is a fellow Spaniard in Asensio. I'm sure he must be on some sort of scouting list or someone they've looked at before, but that just seems like a media-led one, really. That's one that you can probably guarantee that you're going to see Arsenal linked with. Arsenal, even Liverpool. Liverpool always linked with Asensio. That's one that's always spanning the media and things. Maybe there's legitimacy into it, but I don't know, man, really and truly. Arsenal general transfer. Sorry, people, just making timestamps, man. Get the likes up. DG, how you doing? I'm doing good, Faisal, man. I'm Deo, my guy. Privileged to be here talking through football with you lot. We all love the sport. Why not, man? It could be better. It could be worse, man. We're flirting with 50,000 on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing. We're just over 5,000 on Twitch. So we're doing what we need to do, man. It is what it is, man. Seko Fofana's lit still. I don't think Arsenal are going for him again. Similar profile, more to Partey. Yep, he tore his ACL in 2019 against us and was out for close to a year. Asensio is that kind of player to be 1v1 and pass back to the midfielder, no killer mentality. Bit harsh, man, because I mean, I've watched a couple documentaries. I do think Asensio's got mentality. Like, it spoke on how he moved to Madrid. Obviously, I'm not no geography teacher, but he's gone from Mallorca, which is probably a different way of life, or wherever he was, to Madrid. Unfortunately, in his private life, he lost his mum very young, and there's some interesting stuff about him and his dad traveling for football. He might not look like a mentality monster. He's not an ugly youth just running into mad slide tackles and slapping his chest, but I do think he's got mentality. I just think you're never going to assert yourself at Madrid with the players they've got, the things they're doing, and what's happened to you so far, really. But yeah, man, spot on. Ekone is lit still, the Gladbach one. I know certain people, the last midfielder we signed from Gladbach, they probably wouldn't be on it, but I think he's good still. Jason, big up yourself for tuning in. Always rumours and talking around Arsenal. What is this Love Island, fam? I mean, it's a reality TV show. Trash TV, but it's lit. Would you prefer Asensio or Paqueta? Paqueta, without a doubt, can play in central areas, can play out wide. Brazilian bias. He's a skillers. Paqueta is someone that we should have bought when he was robbed at AC Milan. Bit like Bruno Guimaraes was there in Brazil. He was there for time at Lyon, but they should be here. They should, we shouldn't be getting excited with the Gabriels all there right now. They should be joining a serious contingent of Brazilians, but they're not. So yeah, Paqueta all day long, man. Paqueta all day long, man. DG, what do you think of Spurs' business so far? They look like a top 2 side at the moment for me. Nah, I wouldn't say top 2 side. I mean, I don't think Liverpool have died. City's there. I know a lot of people are expecting Chelsea to fall off. And listen, I do not care what happens to Chelsea. But one luxury with Chelsea is that as poor as they may or may not have been last season, and they're in that halfway house where do you get closer to Liverpool and City now? Or do you start getting to where United, Spurs and Arsenal have been? Definitely where Spurs are, because the logic around praising Spurs and criticising Arsenal and United tells you, the territory. 2 of them clubs have been there and done it. One team's never done it and is always bigged up about doing something and never actually doing anything really and truly. West Ham finished above us a couple of years ago. They're not waffling. Spurs fans got the DVDs. They're still chasing over 20 years. I mean, big them up, big up Spurs. Keep talking them up, because I'm going to be the first to pull for receipts. Obviously, they've got Conte. They've got mentality monsters. I think Spurs have showed ambition in the market. Didn't get over the line with Bastoni. Scared him into signing the new Inter deal or Paul Torres. But I think, I don't really rate Lynette from Barca, but if Conte wants him, then I'll give him the credit. Left-sided centre-back, really. Obviously, Richarlison for the squad. He's a player that, them players there you only like if they play for your team. Perisic is adding something. Basuma to go with Bentancur is a good signing. I'd say, obviously, Kulusevski and Bentancur were bought in January, so I'd throw them into the new signings thing as well. they're making good signings and they've already got some good players in and around the team. And if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be encouraged with the outgoings. Unfortunately, they've sold me. They might, between Winks and Skip, one of them's got to go. One of my best mates is a Spurs supporter, and the thing he's most happy about is, in theory, you should see a little less of Højbjerg. Don't know what's happened with Ndombele, but Spurs have started off in the right way. But top 2 side, I don't know, man. I mean, Conte's a mentality monster. Conte makes crap players play a lot better than they actually are, but he's not a miracle worker, And again, if they finish in the top 2, they do. But I don't know at this moment. And in the end of the window might present something. I don't know how people can look at Spurs and say they're a top 2 side when you've still got Liverpool there, and you've still got City, and you've still got Chelsea. And again, Spurs can be good and whatnot, but a bit like Arsenal and United, they're their own worst enemies over the 38-game calendar. Why? Arsenal, Spurs, and United fighting for 4th is the battle for the inconsistent trophy. No one was able to nail it down. Even 3rd with Chelsea was inconsistency, but no one could quite get there. Anytime Arsenal's players in Granit Xhaka, Arsenal started talking about 3rd, the next game we started collapsing, really. And that's where Chelsea are in that middle ground now. Do you get closer to the big boys, or do you join the joke men? I will be going to matches this season, man. Come on, babyface killer and that. DG went to Woking versus Arsenal's 23s last night. Got to say I wasn't very impressed. Only Flores looked good. Fair play. That's for the young players with consistency and things. It is pre-season, so there's probably a bit of cobwebs that have to be ironed out. Allowed them a bit, but fair play. What else are you lot saying, man? We are so far away from 200 people. Disappointing. Is Trusty with the squad? Not to my knowledge, but he might be. He might be. I can't verify. El Nene and Xhaka are good squad players for this season. I love these 2 guys' mentality, but not much of their skills. I mean, I hear you. They can be part of the squad, but that's Arsenal's problem. It's like even with Giroud. Giroud's a good player, but we started to rely on him. We're relying on him to get 20 league goals, and it's not happening. Chelsea never relied on him. He played his way into form and then obviously did the business for them, like you see. Obviously, France to a degree relied on them. He fitted the system, but you look at if they were relying on someone to make the difference, they've got Mbappe, Griezmann, and the rest of it. That's always been Arsenal's problem. We take squad players that might be good for 5 to 10 games in the season, and we start trying to make them punch above their weight, just like last season with El Nene, with Rob Holding, with Cedric, with a couple of Tavares, with a number of these players, and not just them. There was many games, as much as you might think or not think about these players, where they did well. But again, once you start putting people in a position of importance an extended period of time, they just showed their limitations. Some of them might not. Like, I don't think El Nene played bad. He just showed his limitations. Cedric, Tavares, Holding, they showed their levels in it, really. And until Arsenal learn to kind of cut the romance where there's no romance, we're going to be where we're at. Basuma, Perisic, Son, Kane, Kulusevski. Who's Bene? Don't know who that is. Lynette, Richarlison. They're good players, but again, I can't say I look at Spurs, and obviously there's going to be a bit of bias, but I'd love to be proven wrong. In fact, I want to be proven right because it's Spurs. They can't talk to City and Thingy right now with that. They can't talk to City and Liverpool. All them players there need to gel. I don't know if they're going to play, if they're going to perform over a 38-game period. They look more madder than us, but yeah, I'd bet my life savings on Spurs not finishing top 2. At Conte's Buki, anything can happen, man. But yeah, man. DG, big fan, love the content. Do you have an FPL league and what's your team saying? I never win the FPL team. Some of you are bang outs. Some of you, it's not really fair, in it, really and truly. But yeah, we do have that. I can't remember the league name and that, but we did it last year, in fact. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what that was about. Sorry, folks. I left by accident. Well, let me find it for you guys. Fantasy League. Where is that, man? I swear you just renew it year in, year out. So come on, sign in. What's all of this, man? I don't want to update my profile. Just show me my stuff. I might have to, yeah. This might not. The next by tomorrow, I'll have a link for you, my dude. Oh, it's making me do the signing in thing again, man. I ain't got time for that now. Spurs better win something next season. So yeah, if you're in the FPL team already, you know, or the league, better yet, all you have to do is renew the thing, people. So yeah, you just have to renew when you make your FPL and you get a new link. So yeah, that will get Pat and shout out Sandro as well. Their attack is currently arguably better than Chelsea's. Midfield probably round about the same, and defense not as good yet. I mean, yeah, Chelsea ain't got a striker really. Yeah, bringing in Sterling, and Sterling will do a lot better than Lukaku. And you can't not say Sterling isn't a goal scorer, but I still think Chelsea need. It doesn't have to be a squad regular, but I still think they need someone that's just a number 9. But again, you have to be a bit respectful to Chelsea. They've won the Champions League and finished ahead of Spurs more often than not. There's a degree of experience within that squad. They've got Thiago Silva, Kante, Jorginho, even the youngest of players. You've got Tommy Tuchel. I do think Tommy Tuchel gets away with a lot, especially with the no real single attacking player really excelling at Chelsea. You know, Chelsea were bigged up as winning the league last year. You saw how that happened, really. You know, I do think they get away with a lot, but I guess it comes with the territory. What do you think of Tottenham? Shit. What do you think of Tottenham? What do you think of Tottenham? Shit. What do you think of shit? Tottenham? Thank you. That's all right. We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham. Come on, man. How are you today? Tell me. Get 200 likes, my dude. Do you think a right wing is as important as people are making out to be? Yep. Can we afford to go into the season without buying one? I would also say yes, because obviously, you know, there's some players that might look a bit rubbed or what and ahhing over right now, and a year from now they look lit. If that's what has to happen, has to happen. If you could get Gnabry, Rafinha, all of these sort of caliber of players, I advocate going for it. If not, I'll be real. I don't listen. I have no doubt Noah Lang, the Pepe at Porto, Gakpo, all of these guys are lit. But for me, if you're gonna do that, you'd rather not. I don't want to sign anyone then, because they're at a similar level or in and around the same bracket as what we have at the club in wide areas already. You might as well just work with what we have, unless what Arsene Wenger used to say, in a super player becomes available. In the topic of scoring goals, I think you need to sign a winger, you know. If you could sign 2 strikers and you have him and Jesus Eddie in the squad, even though I don't think it's realistic in terms of balance in Arteta's mind, I'm all for that. But we've got to make up the deficit. You know, if you could have got Rafinha with 11 Premier League goals, and we're playing in a better team, would probably have scored more. Saka, Smith Rowe doing the business. Eddie picking up where he left off when he gets opportunities. Jesus showing he can get 15, 20. Odegaard and Martinelli joining in. It could be decent, but you know, it's football's a simple game, bro. You need to keep less balls out the back of your net and score more in your opponents. And we're not necessarily a good defensive side, even though we finished 5th for clean sheets. Out of all the top 6, we're only bettered by United, and they have no defense at this moment in time. And Ten Hag's going to pattern that up really and truly. We're not necessarily a goal scoring team, really. You know, we're relying on Saka, who's been in the professional game about 2 minutes. Testament to Saka and Smith Rowe, but it's a damning verdict on our club. And as you see, you know, these lot can do the business, but it's not realistic to expect them to do it for 38 games. And now, you know, you've got a World Cup to think about, where Saka's, unless something happens, probably going to go off. You know, obviously we've got more games to play next season. You know, we need to share the workload. So I don't necessarily. I think our team has the potential to score goals. I couldn't tell you right now on July the 6th, that we are a goal scoring team. I can't tell you that we're any. Well, by default, we are closer because we brought in Gabriel Jesus. But I couldn't tell you we're closer to what Mikel Arteta said, in that we need to get 90 to 100 goals. I hope so, but it's all the potential to score goals. So if you don't score goals, you don't win games. And there's times where, look, when we had Alexis, games we should have drawn, we won. Games we should have lost, we got something out of it. And that same case could be said for many other examples. You know, again, sometimes when you got a talisman or someone like that, you can scumbag a couple games. Obviously, bad days happen. Bad days are at the office all the time. You think Liverpool and City have been amazing for 38 games. But when you've got the players they have, some people just do what they need to do, really. So, yeah, I just feel it's really unrealistic to keep expecting Saka and Smith Rowe to bag. These lot should be in a scenario where they could be young men learning the tricks and trades of the game, rather than, if you lot don't turn up, typically that's correlated with if Arsenal are getting something out of the game or not. Testament to the young players, damning verdict on the football club. That important. That's definitely not important for Arsenal. 600 of you locked in. Appreciate you lot. By the time DG gets into the transfer news, it'll be 2050. He's saying I'll probably have sideburns by then. Well, I can't help it, man. You lot hit the like button, 30 more likes. We can do what we need to do for people. I feel like Asensio links are his agent trying to force a move. Of course they are. You know, again, what have you heard with Asensio the whole sort of few months? He wants a new contract. He wants a big contract. there you have it, really and truly. Whether he gets it is another thing. Well, we'll have to see. DG showing the Brazilian bias Samba football at the Emirates next season. 100%, bro. Come on. Who above? We used to have Willian. Now we're getting some 30 Samba skillers. You know, we used to pray for days like this. We have had wingers that don't want to take people on. I'm here for this. I'm here for this, man. I'm so here for this. Are we going to see a shift to 4-3-3? I hope so. I hope we can still remain with the ability of playing a 4-2-3-1. I want to see 4-3-3. And I think there's times you've got to be able to play 3 at the back, whether that's 3-5-2, whether that's 3-4-3. There's times we need to play 3 at the back, especially when we're trying to, when it gets to them techie periods where the fixtures are piling up and you just need to, if you can't win, don't lose. I feel it's too much all or nothing. And I feel that's one thing with Arteta. I look at the Spurs game and you could see the difference between Conte and Arteta in the sense of before it, not to praise Spurs, Conte was of this, yeah, it's important, it's a final. Obviously, if we beat Arsenal, it boosts our chance. But in a nice way, he kind of played down the importance and was like, there's next week. Arteta was too much on this cup final business with Spurs. And, you know, the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we were okay. And it looked like we crumbled really and truly. You know, I think he showed an inexperience to navigate fixtures, if I'm honest with you. And I look at, you know, the Brighton Palace not reacting after Brighton, losing to Southampton. It's these sort of things we need to be a bit more sensible, especially going away from home where teams make it difficult for us. And let's be honest, it's not a football thing. It wasn't a football thing last season at Brighton away, at Palace away, at Spurs away, at Newcastle. It was just, we need to fight. We need to earn the right to play. We need to show bravery. We weren't on that. The only times away from home it's been a football thing was actually Manchester United away from home and Everton. And another reason as to why we didn't get top 4, dropping points from winning positions in them 2 games. And also Crystal Palace at home. So just overall naiveties and needing to improve game management are things that need to improve a tenfold beyond just signing new players, really, the mentality. And to a degree, I don't know how you would change that because it is all on Mikel Arteta. But I remember how when my mentality in Sunday League changed, shout out to Darren the Black Pep. He was leading a session and I was just, obviously I'm a player, we're waiting for him to do it so we can follow. And I just remember him saying stuff and then football just clicked for me. Like it just made sense. And then obviously I bought even more to what he's saying. Sometimes, you know, it's almost a case of Arteta can take you to the water, but he can't help you drink. Now, there's a case to be said of how Arteta conveys his message and how he gets it across. You know, how you get him to buy into what you want to do could be different from him. You might be able to shout at him, say he's effing shit, and he doesn't take it to heart. The next guy might crumble and hold some feminine feelings against you, really and truly. You know, that you've got to be able to do that. And that's one thing we're gonna learn about Arteta, because it's not always going to be your way or the highway. You're not always going to be able to freeze out the Mesut Ozils, the Aubameyans and things like that, you know, rightly or wrongly. There's going to be a time where if that player don't play, we're in trouble. So we're going to have to see. I just have a sense Chelsea may fall back a bit, fall out from the financial issues, and bringing in new people like this takes time to adjust. It does. But you could, and I hope so, but you could say the same thing with Spurs. They bought a bunch of new players. They all need to settle in things. Now, I think Spurs have a good team for next season and they've got cerebral characters, but yeah, man, you know, if Chelsea fall off, if Spurs, if you know, by all means, I want Chelsea to fall off. I want people to big up Spurs, and then let's see what's going on there. No chance Spurs getting top 2, but looks kind of meaty outside a few, man, when you list all the players out like that. And I won't lie, not to belittle Spurs in the transfer market, banter aside, but if Arsenal signed a couple of them players, some fans would be vexed. There is a deluded league, my guy, man. 3 years in, living with hope, heard it all today. What happened there? Who else do you reckon will sign this window? Not a clue, my guy, man. Not a clue. We need a superstar signing like Gnabry, but I'm 99.9% sure we won't get him. I hear that, man, and I can't blame you for being a bit pessimistic in them regards, people. Obviously, people, you lot keep doing a great job of keeping me updated with emerging news. I think we've hit 200 likes, so we can get into it. But a couple more questions, and then we do what we're doing, people. Really and truly. And I have a train to catch at 2:08. So this mobile is going to have to be charged, or we're going to be in trouble, man. Pepe just needs to focus on his craft and improve his mentality. But that's what his dad said the minute he signed for the football club. So I'm not here with it, man. DG meant to have an interview for O2, waiting for them to call, getting stressed as they haven't added to my transfer window frustration. Don't stress, TJ, man. On behalf of everyone listening, best of luck for that, my guy. Hopefully you get it. If you don't get it, it's their loss, man. I know you've done your preparation. Just sell yourself the best you can, you know. At worst comes to worst, as I keep telling myself, you know, you're in the very same place you was in it. If you went into a room with nothing and you leave with nothing, you could be disappointed, which I've been disappointed, but at the same time, I didn't gain I didn't lose anything in it. I had what I woke up with, so it's their loss in it. Best of luck with that, my dude. And anyone else, you know, trying to get jobs and them things there. Shout out the 9-to-5ers. Trusty will join the squad directly in our USA preseason. So, of course, him, Matt Turner, obviously with Kroenke's couple of teams in America, them sides doing quite well. It makes sense to tour up America and get the American Donnies. That might be the only time them shirts are sold. To be fair, I'd love to know how many shirts Matt Turner has sold people, you know, excluding family members and that. Really and truly. In 2050, we're still linked with Murata. I'm not here for it at all, man. I'm not here for it at all, man. I mean, Smith Rowe should be able to play as an 8 in the future. Should be able to play as a 10. Should be able to play as a wide forward. Do you think we are linked to Milinkovic? Oh, listen, I don't know about any. Please allow me, man. Been a minute, life's changing. DG, shout out to you, that man. There you saying you gotta do babes and that. My man's fade is clean. Shout out Cristobal, but come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, excuse me. What's your number for? I don't want it no more. You lot are making me not act humble, man. You lot are making me not act humble. I'm not like that. Gelly out there, I'm not like that. DG, do you have Instagram? I feel like you're trying to move to me. Yeah, Deluded Gooner 04, man. Don't think we'll purchase Gnabry as age-wise 5 years means no resale value. I hear that, but I mean, you know, if you just do the business, we get what we need. I hear you, though. I don't think we're going for Gnabry because I just think he's going to want to. You hear he wants, you know, he's rejected a salary of 15 odd million euros a year. I think he's going to cost a lot of money. I just don't think Arsenal. I think Arsenal have admiration for him. If he does become available, there's a reality where they might see what's going on in that regards, but I just think it's more fan-led, if anything, man. Aye, man. Ajax said you need to cut your hair, get freshened up, man. What can I say, man? I'm not hoping on no Pepe, whatever you said, that big word there, man. Come back, man. Renaissance, that's it. We got there in the end, man. I couldn't go out like that still. I'm over that, bro. Like, I hope it could happen. Arteta can't improve a man. How you expect? I mean, I think that's a bit harsh. Saka and Smith, I hear you and I agree somewhat, but then again, I can't really sit here and say that when Arsenal have kept more clean sheets than in previous years. I know we're failing in many other attacking aspects, and obviously Smith Rowe and Saka have dropped 10 goals in the league. And unpopular opinion, I actually feel when I look at Pepe is still frustrating, but there was times you wouldn't see him. He'll do something mad in the 81st minute, go missing for the rest of the game, or he'll be missing for the whole game. He's still a madman, but I see him. I actually think he's improved under Arteta a lot defensively, and he's a bit more all-rounded. But then again, I don't know. Harsh, he's developed a whole attack. Like I said, he's improved them young players and that, but I don't class this as developing attacks. Scoring goals was a problem dating back to Una Emery. It's not been addressed. It's not been addressed at all. Come and shout the new job, man. You're shameless, man. You've been working on the waves, or is that natural? Getting a little seasick. I'm applying for Love Island. Fuck it. Nah, man, it's natural. What can I say? Shout out Jamaica, but you get me. This one there comes from Barbados. Still, what can I say, man? 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 You get me? I don't even want to fuck with this transfer talk now, man. Like, let's go out on the prowl, mate. I don't want to do any of this now, mate. You're gassing me. I disagree. Pepe died, bro. I like, man. Newcastle want Elise, apparently. I mean, lit signing for them. If I'm Elise, you've got no reason to leave Crystal Palace at this moment in time. Learn your craft, develop, get more importance, become more of a household name in the Prem. These moves will happen for you, really and truly. Personally, I don't give Arteta too much credit for the young players. I think they're on a natural trajectory, probably. But I mean, you can't be that nice. I hear you, but at the same time, you've got to be fair. their first season of double figures. They're clearly, like, literally, they're going into training week in, week out. I'm not, you know, it has to be, you know, you have to give Arteta some credit for it. It's a bit harsh not to, really and truly. Because if Wenger did it or whatever, it is what it is. You know, I'm not saying Pep. I think Pep has improved Phil Foden beyond his wildest of years. I remember when the pundits were saying he's going on loan, but you could clearly look at Foden, you know, and say, you know, you're a natural at football. Is so what? Is you can't give Pep any credit for Foden, or is he just on a natural trajectory? Or Pedri over there at Barca and Gavi and these sort of things, and Vinicius at Madrid? I don't know, man. Tell him again. Nah. Dax or Sporting Waves kind of guy. None, bro. Just Greece. None of that. None of that. Funny enough, I remember one carnival. It was raining a few years ago. Man, put all that Dax BS in my hair. I lacked. I had no hood. That was the worst carnival ever. Like, shit just covered out of my headpiece. Oh, every now and again when my brethren say, "Hey, fam, wipe it, myth." No confidence, not trying to chat to no thing, nothing. Crazy, man. Some people would rather die than give Arteta credit. Who's on the training pitch with them? Trust me. I mean, if it's not Arteta, it's the coaching staff for them thing there. So I'm not here to sing Arteta's praises. I'm a fan of Arsenal, but I like to call it as I see it. There's things I can praise Arteta for. There's things that I think are overstated and overrated that he's done and things like that. And to a degree, I don't want to keep praising the man for improving players. You're doing this youth project. There's that. It was brazy, fam. Like, I'm literally got the hood on, not my hood, my flipping coat with no hood. I'm like this and like dead. After that, I said, listen, I'm not doing them thing there again, man. We'll just rock with what God gave, man, from the jump, really and truly. Let's not force it still. Pepe used his self-revive in 2021, but he got downed again with no gulag. I can't lie, Arteta is deep, though. He didn't even give Pepe, normally Pepe's the guy second half of the season, didn't even give him that, really. Done him dirty, but a promise is a promise. Keep running up the likes button. Shout out 1-1 and all the members in the cup, people. Let's get into the transfer news. What's that? 46. Let's just call it 46-0, man. Come on, man. Brazy. All right, big up my guy, Carl, man. 50k subs soon land, man. Need all these new signings in place before the Palace game. I agree, but it's probably dream chasing, man. It's probably dream. It was looking lit. Like, it's Rafinha this, Lisandro Martinez that, Tielemans this, Gabriel's this, that. We're making the signings. Before the end of the window. It was looking brazy, man. You've got to give credit to the set piece coach as well. Might as well sign Ward-Prowse and we can cook even more in that regards, really. But let's get into the transfer news, people. I'm violating you lot. I will be going Emirates Cup still. But yeah, before we get into it, let's start with a couple of these Arsenal things, man. Let's start with a player that's actually here, man. It is what it is, man. I see a few grey hairs. What can I say? Man's getting to the Denzel Washington stage. What can I say, my guy? Butter in your hair, that's our next struggle that I don't want to be part of, man. Vaseline's as low as we get. That's our next struggle, man. I'd rather just do the ragaman thing and just have a dry headpiece. That's a madness. Man putting floor in their hair and that. Myth. Anyways, apparently Mikel Arteta believes that Gabriel Jesus will set different standards at the club. I hope so, in terms of goal scoring, in terms of mentality and all of this jazz from being with Pep. I don't underestimate it. I want you to do it, but it's incredibly naive if you think one 25-year-old is going to come in and his mentality is going to affect the rest of the squad. Obviously, if Ronaldo came, even Ronaldo at United, he didn't change. Not everybody's waking up and doing a million push-ups and going in that freezing, whatever it is, that freezing machine thing they go in. So one man ain't gonna change the whole 25-man squad and everything. When you keep bringing in players like this and flushing out the bad ones, obviously the mentality starts changing. So I hope he sets great standards and in his own way, but he's not a messiah, innit? I think the club has done a tremendous job to recruit a player of this stature. It's someone that I know personally really well, and we all know really well because he's played in a league and been really successful. I mean, he's not going to score goals from the minute he starts to the minute he finishes. He is going to go through a goal drought. Like you saw, and people had a lot of things to say around Salah, Vardy, Kane last season, really. But if you know this player, on top of the obvious, I don't want to see us asking what's going on with him. You should know exactly how you're going to improve him. You should know more about him than he knows about himself. Pardon me. It's a position that's been on our radar for a long time now, and we have managed to get a player that we all wanted, so I'm really happy. He said, I think it's a package. You start with his character, the person, the smile. I don't care about Don Smile, bro. Just do the job. And what he represents as a human being, that's true. And he's an incredible professional with his work rate and enthusiasm. You'll see it the first day he puts on his boots and enters the training pitch. He has the enthusiasm that he's going to create on his own on that pitch. And then obviously there are his qualities, his anger to score. All right. So I hope to see that. His willingness to be coached. All right. If you're willing to listen, you're willing to improve. To improve, he's used to winning, which you got to calm down a bit with that Arsenal. And he knows that winning is the only way to do it. I hope so. Winning's the only thing, and winning doesn't always mean trophies. Winning just simply means being better than you can be yesterday. Whatever you're doing in any aspect of life, doing it to the best of your ability, so that when your conscience asks you, have I done as good as I can, you can sleep well at night. Too many people don't. So I hope he sets different standards at the club and all of these sort of things, people. He's gone on to speak about his different level of experience. He spoke about the need for better balance in the team. He spoke on his pedigree, people, and him able to play as a false nine, either side of a front three, and as well as the main striker. What impressed me the most is the end of this. He said, we have a very, very dynamic team up front. We have 3 or 4 players who can play in various positions and play with each other in different positions. Pause. We want to be unpredictable. Yeah, I want to be unpredictable as well, but unpredictable in a good way. We don't know what's happening with Arsenal. We might turn up and do a madness. We might turn up and not do a madness, innit? We want to be unpredictable, but at the same time, we want to be specific in certain areas. My guy, Mikel Arteta, that's what I like to hear. To achieve certain qualities that we didn't have in the squad. And I think with Gavi, I think we are doing both of those at the same time. Inshallah. But anyways, 6 of our Premier League games have been rescheduled. I can't lie, I'm happy about the Man United one, because it now means Saturday I can go out and do what I'm doing. And now Sunday, I told you previously, we'd have to section that off. We'll be here. But again, updated fixture calendar list, as you can see, people. Palace hasn't changed. I don't know. But anyways, games against Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa, United, Everton, and Brentford have all been affected in some way, whether it's been moved in terms of time or day or just been put on TV. I don't know, but that's it for you lot. So you lot make a mark of that. Jesus has commented on all the other Brazilian youths. Let's see what he said, people. What have you said? Now there's 3, 4 if you force William Saliba. He's got Gabriel in his name. Now it's 3. There's a lot of jokes with us now, but they are very good guys. I'm so happy for them because they deserve to be in a big club like Arsenal. They did so well last season, and I'm so happy to be here with them. I'm so happy to be with him. He went to train with us in the national team in 2019 and was in the Copa America in Brazil. We saw him and his qualities, and he can do other things other players cannot. So that's great. When I saw him come to Arsenal, I was not surprised because I knew he had the quality to play in a big club in Europe and Brazil. I'm so happy for him because he deserves this, because he's a quality player. The next season, I was following him, watching him in games. Jesus has also had plenty of battles with Gabriel, the centre-back. He said, we only need one word to sum up. He only needed one word. He said, difficult. He's so strong. I have played against him a couple of times. He's a very difficult defender, but has the qualities to play as well. Obviously, he said it would be massive for us personally because I played in the last World Cup, so I know it's so good to be there with Brazil. We grew up seeing players like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Romario, and we wanted to be the next ones. The World Cup is here now, and we have the opportunity to play there together from the same club, all three Gabbies, inshallah. Marquinhos, do some badness and get involved in this, man. This is what we want to see, man. We've come a long way, man. We had dons like Willian. I'll never forgive some of you Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans do this thing where they convince themselves that bullshit is acceptable. Like Willian signings for this football club, gassing up save wages. Certain man would say, oh, it was good we never got top 4 because we weren't ready. There's positive, negative folk, and there's negative Arsenal folks. They're both at 2 different ends of the spectrum, and both of them are loony. We spoke about this already. Big up Charles Watts, but your personal opinion is irrelevant. Again, we all know how this Milinkovic-Savic stuff is going to end. But, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. 700 of you locked in, people. Appreciate that, but we're still not at 300 likes. The dream is sold separately. Arsenal set to submit new bid after 47 million offer for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is rejected. Bearing in mind, the man, way before Arsenal and him was a thing, it was made abundantly clear he wants to leave Lazio. Can't you offer some money in Torreira if we are humouring this rumour? Arsenal are preparing a new offer for Lazio midfielder Milinkovic-Savic after the initial 47.2 bid was rejected, according to reports in Italy. Now, for various reasons, whether it's the price, whether it's the player not being linked with before, whether it's the fact that it comes out of Italy, degree of pessimism. And it's also spoke about Tielemans. Maybe we're going after this guy and we'll leave Tielemans if we can get him. Maybe we want both. Maybe the luxury of what we assuming that we have a free run at Tielemans, as much as you can say that, is a thing. But yeah, man, it's saying that after completing Jesus, we're going after him again. You have to look at it with a pinch of salt. Arsenal have had an offer turned down. The report claims Lazio would be open to selling the Serbia international, but only if Arsenal meet their 55.8 million valuation. I think that's a decent price. I mean, slap them Torreira and take a couple zeros off that then. Torreira wants to stay in Italy. Wasn't he linked with Lazio before? Just give them some bread, man. Just do that. Really. As you know, he got 11 goals, 11 assists, and, you know, the Arteta, that would help you get closer to 100 goals. I mean, he's got physical qualities. He's very good on the ball. I think fans gas it up a bit. You know, I think he's a lot of the things that were said about Paul Pogba, I think, applied to him. But he's lit, so bring him. But I can't see it happening. He's got 2 years left on his deal, so you would imagine this is the last season where you're going to get something lit for him, really. I mean, he's 27. It's dream world, but if you could get Milinkovic-Savic and Fabian Ruiz and Zinchenko, I'd be sorted for this window, really. But dream chasing. Arsenal also remain hopeful of beating Man United in the race for Lisandro Martinez. I'm tired of hearing about that. You know, apparently he's keen on a move to the Premier League. Where Arsenal are concerned, it might be an issue getting rid of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Apparently, Nottingham Forest face a problem in their Arsenal transfer bid, people. I haven't read this, but I'm just willing to bet, and I'll probably lose now that I've said this. I bet you it mentions his weekly wages. 100% it mentions his weekly wages. Nottingham Forest could be set for a transfer blow in their reported pursuit of Arsenal's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Nottingham Forest are seeking a replacement for Spence, obviously, who looks to be going to Spurs and has returned to his parent club in Middlesbrough. Steve Cooper's worked with Ainsley before at England youth level, so this could be a great move for you, not only to play Premier League football and be important, but there's that, you know, it is what it is. I mean, while Ainsley Maitland-Niles, for me, can leave with his head held high, it's a success story. He's been called up for England, you know, he's played Premier League football, he's made over 100 appearances, he's won some trophies for Arsenal, you know, that's a success story. Now you need to move on. This says he's in the last 8 years he's made 72 appearances. That tells you he's a bit part player. Now he's 24. Put some context behind that. If 24 take away 8, how old are you? There's some of that in there, but yeah, people, the move to Roma didn't bang. You know, it is what it is, as you can see here. But while the Gunners are believed to be willing to cash in on him, there's one thing standing in the way of a potential deal coming to fruition: his wages. Wouldn't be a problem if we just sold him to Wolves and Everton like we did, really. You know, and sometimes not everyone from Hayland needs to play. Some people, you know, Eddie might be you know, he become a decent squad player and help us get back to qualifying for the top 4. But if we ever become 30, we might say, do you know what, you're not quite good enough. Let's go and make some money. And that's where you look at Nelson, Joe Willock, Ainsley, when we could have made bread. Definitely Bellerin, these academy prospects, with the exception of Bellerin being at Barca. That's where you need to make the bread. So yeah, he's on 52. I mean, they're a bit stingy, you know. I know you're in the Championship. Bloody hell, 52,000. I mean, I don't know if Ainsley at 24 years of age, if I was trying to buy you, I'd be trying to commit you to a 4 or 5 year deal. I don't know. So with that, I don't know if I'm Ainsley, if I would commit to tearing up some of my wages. But Ainsley Maitland-Niles, what, last year, didn't you get a new agent? Pepe, didn't you get a new agent? Torreira, you want to stay in Italy. All your agent does is talk. I'm not being funny, but while it's on Arsenal to move these players on, what the hell are these guys' agents doing? It's very early in the transfer window, if you can say that. So let's see how things develop. Lisandro Martinez, Man United and Arsenal transfer target has shunned for Ajax and offers brains, brawn, and versatility. Played 12 times at left back. I mean, I can't lie to you. I mean, he's got a good mentality. I don't care about if he doesn't sign for Arsenal. We know how it gets in South America. I don't necessarily care about this sort of stuff, really and truly. This is his heat maps when he's playing in midfield before moving back into defense. So because he's left-footed, he steps out there. So I can see maybe why Arteta wants him. It kind of helps him with that, people. Apparently, Ten Hag said at the beginning of the season, we were looking for a brain in midfield. We knew Martinez had played central midfield, but could he do it in Ajax's system? We tried him there and we saw good things. So yeah, he's clearly tactically intelligent. He's a good footballer, but It is what it is, man. If he signs people. And apparently he's got an appetite for improvement. So he's clearly got the versatility, the mentality. He's 24 years of age. You can see why Arsenal and Arteta are involved with him. And, you know, we've got centre-backs at this football club who say they don't watch football. So some Arsenal fans might look at this and say, yes, I watch football all the time and I observe all the players in all positions and look at how they move. I love the details about players. So that might, you know, that might actually help us. The club always gives you information, but you have to do extras yourself for a new position. He spoke, as I said before, he spoke about Joshua Kimmich as a guide point before. When he plays in midfield, I like the calmness he has and the way he reads the game. A player has to be intelligent. He has to have confidence, of course, but it's a game of decisions and you make decisions with your head. I mean, he's a bit unorthodox in stuff he does. A lot of people talk about his lack of height and things like that, you know, especially in this country, which I don't think is an issue, but it is what it is. Apparently, last season, he averaged more passes per 90 minutes than any other Eredivisie player, while only 2 players directed more forward passes per 90 minutes. So you can see why very much looks like the modern centre-back. You know, Arsenal, if you're not using this guy at left-back, for me, it's irrelevant. You can see he ranks, you know, for passes completed first, passes in the opposition's half third, forward passes third, touches second, interceptions ninth. So again, as much as the modern days about playing football, you're ninth for interceptions. You'd more want to trade that. I'd more want to see my defender first for interceptions and in and around certain areas for forward passes. As I said, I think fans of both clubs are overrating him as they do. I think people are gassing the versatility aspect. Clearly, he is versatile, and this article is helping, but he's played 12 times at left back. What conclusions are we drawing? He does look a bit unorthodox in some aspects with his approaches to defending, but I do like the look of the player and what we could have at Arsenal. Or if you're a United fan, but if you don't get him, just move on, really and truly. So, yeah, he's able to. We know he can break the lines and all of these sort of things, people. Is what it is. His natural position is central defense, but because he's not tall, his coaches at Newell's doubted him when he was trying to win his place. They were a bit worried about the issue of height, but it was something I never gave any importance. So it is what it is, people. I actually made more headed clearances than any other player and won 79 of his aerial duels, giving him a success rate of 71% and putting him second only to Harry Maguire among Arsenal and Man United centre-backs. Considering his lack of height, that makes me worried for our actual defenders at the club already. What the hell's going on there? Really and truly. So we'll have to see what happens there. But it's getting a bit boring. Waffling about these guys. I mean, let's see what Football.London has said. Terms between Arsenal and the midfielder have been in place. Apparently, the player is sold on a move to Arteta's side and is waiting for the deal to be agreed, people. And he's available for around 30 million. We have genuinely heard 25 million. So I don't know what's going on there. Off topic, people. 304 likes. Can we get towards 400? Thank you very much for hitting the like button on YouTube, Twitch gang. Appreciative of all the support. I know you're liking the thing in spirit, and some of you are opening up another tab and doing up that. We've been linked with Asensio, a year left on his deal with his injury record. 25 million isn't the worst, but he's going to want the bag in terms of wages. He's probably, whether he deserves it or not, his agent is probably going to want to make him one of Arsenal's highest earners. And with us needing to get, I would say, Torreira, Bellerin, Pepe, where wage, 52 grand a week, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, these things need to, whatever Torreira's on, he can't be on amazing wages, but he ain't going to be on little boy wages. I can't see us adding to it, really, and it just seems like this is an easy one. But Arsenal and AC Milan allegedly are stepping up their efforts. He can play right wing, among other positions, a bit like Fabio Vieira. Maybe with our failed pursuit of Rafinha, this is something that Arsenal explore. I would love to have signed Lucas Paqueta from Lyon, but apparently he's remaining at Lyon. Obviously, Talisio and Lacazette have gone back to Lyon. There's talk of Pjanic going there. Any more of that, and they'll be trying to get Benzema and Gomes and all them sort of dons and Janino and that. But apparently, he's interested PSG, City and Arsenal. However, talks between said clubs and his reps failed to advance. So for some other reason or another, he's staying where he's staying. Milinkovic-Savic. Apparently, Milinkovic-Savic is always mentioned in the Italian press, but Lazio wants 75 to 80 million euros for him. Tielemans is not extending his Leicester contract, so this is why Arsenal are exploring that possibility more than Milinkovic-Savic. Apparently, Charles Watts on the Lisandro Martinez rumor said, I know everyone is saying, oh, it's United, But from what I understand, Martin is very open to Arsenal as well. He really likes the ideas that he's been told, if he came in and how he would be used by Mikel Arteta. And he likes Arteta and he's very keen on the project. So it's neck and neck pause for both clubs. And he wants to move to the Prem. May the best man win. Arsenal can land a sensational deal for Marco Asensio. Myth. Szczesny's revealed he was fined for being late to Juventus. Again, don't understand that. Real Madrid are planning to get rid of Asensio. So this is where the rumours are coming from. Coco looks unrecognisable, of course. Needy. Allegedly, Sergej Gnabry is reportedly set to hold crunch talks with Bayern Munich as he enters the final 12 months of his deal. As you know, he's been linked with Manchester United, Arsenal and City. Bayern are thought to be keen to keep hold of the former Arsenal man. They're planning a meeting with Gnabry and his reps. They are keen for Gnabry to extend his contract in order to fight off interest from elsewhere. Paqueta snubbed the move, really and truly. Allegedly, I saw this report. Gabriel Jesus has been mocked for joining a small club. Brazilian media personality Neto has got onto Arsenal. Whether he's right or wrong, I think I speak for every Arsenal fan. You can have your opinion, but whoever you are, Neto, suck your mum. Don't talk shit about my club and tell her to suck her mother. We keep moving. Apologies for the French. It's A's up till we freeze up and them things there. Arsenal will tie Saka down to a new contract in the next 6 months. That's according to Kevin Campbell. Last time I checked, unless Kevin Campbell's Saka's agent or is his brethren, he's just chatting, really. Shout out to Kevin, though. Tyler Ferran of Arsenal has signed a new deal, a pro deal. Shout out to the young man. Don't think he makes the grade at the club, but it's great for him nonetheless. So it's just reiterating what we know. Dybala's been more linked with Man United in the last 24 hours, but he was linked with Arsenal. It seems like it's a Milinkovic-Savic thing, people. So it is what it is. And after that, it's Lisandro Martinez, and then it's the Tielemans thing. So we'll have to see. I think this article is just reiterating the same thing. Unless Google Translate helps us, people, it's a myth. So yeah, man, this is just, we're not going to go over that again. It's just reiterating that. Apparently, Arsenal want to sell Reece Nelson. I mean, Feyenoord just sold a Ute to Leeds. You might as well ask them to take him on permanently then. And once again, Manchester City and United are looking at Gnabry. Arsenal and Liverpool are linked with Asensio. Again, they're trying to cash in on him. What's this? Xhaka's dad's come out, and obviously in light with certain things allegedly that have been said, again, that have been said in the press, he's come out and said that, my son ain't done that. He's on holiday and that. So, yeah, I'm not going to go over that. You lot do your own research. So, yeah, it's just the same old, really, with the same old names. Once again, Sergej Gnabry and his agent will sit down in days after his return to training to make a quick decision on the player's future. Gnabry has an offer that the club considers more than fair, and need the player's wage demands, and maybe meets the player's wage demands. Tielemans is said to be patiently waiting for a bid to land from Arsenal, which could be worth in the region of 30 million. Bayern are planning to sit down with Gnabry and his agents to extend his contract. They don't want to lose Gnabry to Madrid or City. Again, all these in the knows have taken a bit of a hit, but again, I don't think this guy claims to be an in the know or nothing. He was primarily driving force behind Rafinha and all of these things. He said Bayern are hopeful that Gnabry will sign a new deal. However, if he doesn't, Arsenal are ready to pounce to try to take the midfielder back to the Emirates Stadium. There's thoughts he could be attainable for as little as 40 million. Now, I'm not a transfer man, but 40 million is not going to be the true cost. You're going to have to give him the bag, really. And apparently, this guy has said, there was a meeting scheduled for this week between Tielemans and Tielemans' people and Arsenal. Apparently, there's a meeting this Thursday, which is tomorrow, with officials to try and thrash out a deal for the Leicester City midfielder. Arsenal want to pay around 25 million for him. Negotiating to be done to meet with Leicester's demands could take a while, but the player is very, very keen to join. So it's one that's going to drag out, really and truly. I don't know what this is. This just seems like some personal opinion. Once again, Lucas Paqueta links. Again, people talking nonsense. I saw that Gabriel Jesus went to Arsenal, small club. Portuguese Sinister are bigger than Arsenal. Arsenal have won what in the last 5 years? A bunch of FA Cups, man. Suck your man, you pussy, man. Anyways, shut up, man. But anyways, that's it. Where that's concerned, hey, Southampton getting a Rebo, that could be a lit signing. But where the transfer news is concerned, unless I'm missing out something, feel free to help me. 325 likes. Can we move towards 400? Thank you in advance. That's that, people. What are you lot saying? Because I know you lot have been typing. Let me get back into what you guys are saying, folks. What you saying? What else are you saying? I'd rather get Gilmando for 6 than that 40 million for Lisandro. Could be used on another winger. Pedro Neto would be great. Champions League will be sacked. Sherry will do. Appreciate that. Can't be calling these man Gabby. Need some new nicknames before Arteta starts confusing the team. Trust. Mate, you know what? We might as well confuse ourselves and confuse opponents, man. I don't know about natural progression because look at recent other great talents we had over the years. They haven't developed to that level. So that comment is a spooky one. It's down to coaching. It's 50-50, man. Like, appreciate that. Come on, new trim gang. The set piece coach needs massive ratings. We never scored from corners. Amen. We should trigger Elise's release clause a couple of days before the Palace game. I mean, I would love Elise, but if I think he's someone for the future, someone that could chip in and things, but he's not someone that's going to hit it off right now. He's a talented boy, but people are acting like he's badding up the Premier League week in, week out. He ain't really even done what Zaha's done at Palace. Like, so I just think, settle your roots. Do what you're doing. I mean, if we could, I wanted him when he was at Reading. What Palace are going to make bread on him? 8 million quid. Could do a lot worse. Should have took the Pablo Marie money and bought someone in that's actually useful at this club. Really and truly. I hope Gnabry comes back to London, but yeah, man. It's all brazy, man. Happy Wednesday to you, Kevin, as well. DG, I don't care what players we are linked with. If we fail to get a certain midfielder, we are done for. Honestly, everything is a myth from there. I agree still. I can't even cap, man. We don't pattern up the midfield, then we know what we're buying into, really and truly. Would be a massive big up, Khan. Would be a massive signing if we get Milinkovic, but I'll believe it when I see it. Trust, when I see man holding the shirt, that's when I'll believe him. Even with Arsenal, until someone at the Emirates leaks a picture of Milinkovic-Savic walking around the Emirates, I don't believe it. I want a horde of midfielders more than a winger. I can't lie that Vieira can play right wing on occasions anyways. I hear that, man, and he can play out wide, but everyone knows in their heart, them man there, they want to play in central positions. I miss having wingers that fullbacks are genuinely scared of, and to a degree, Martinelli, Saka, to a degree, Smith Rowe have got that, but with respect, they're not got the Alexis Sanchez thing. Football's a mental game. You can't overrate players, but one has to wonder how many games, beyond just the ability, how many games did Arsenal win because man was shook of Alexis or Dons was shook of, I know he plays up front, but Henry or Liverpool, how many guys are scared in the tunnel because they're seeing Salah, historically Mane, Diaz now, probably Darwin Núñez, or the majority with City, and there's plenty of examples. I don't think we've got that. Too many teams fancy it against Arsenal, as you should. We ain't bullies in the league. We ain't done nothing. How many times, bro? What Southampton couldn't score or win a game? They buck us, they get something. I'm sure at a time Brighton had that. I'm sure at a time Palace failed to win at home. Everybody looks at us to change their form and turn things around. And if you have half a chance, if you make it difficult for us, if you leave something on us with a couple of tackles, you can get something with Arsenal. I agree, DG. Sick of hearing about this Martinez guy that we will not sign. Ainsley Maitland now should want to play ball at his age. I think he does, man. Fiorentina violated him, man. Pedro Neto will be lit, but he probably needs to come over, overcome that injury and things like that. I mean, we should be trying to go for Ajax's Anthony like United, but obviously they got the Ten Hag buyers. It's going to cost about 70-80 million quid as well. And currently he's injured at the moment. I don't know the variation on that, but yeah, man. Sounds like a manager's dream. Edu says we'll make a couple more signings. Must be left back cover and a centre mid starter. Hopefully, man. I hope so, man. I hope so. SMS and Gakpo. I mean, listen, Cody Gakpo, I'm sure he's got a lot of potential, but I'm prepared to miss out on them sort of guys, man. I can't lie to you. If they're not better than what we have at this moment in time, I'm not really on it, man. Pardon me, we have more Gabbies than Spuds have titles. Come on. We have Jesus, Mohammed, and 3 Gabriels. Yeah. And the Lord above us, whatever you believe in, is still not going to shine his light on this football club. Gnabry and SMS would be an elite window. Will never happen, though, one or the other, if anything. I like Eze, but I'd rather Elise. Good morning, DG. Good morning, Carl. I'm excited to see what Jesus will do next season. We were told 2 marquee signings, cut losses with Pepe, and bring in Savic, Gnabry / Anthony. We all hope Tierney has an injury-free hit season, but I mean, yeah, man, you're wishing on a star with that one. Neto, Zaha, Diaby, all quality Rafina alternatives. All depends on the price for Zaha with his age. To get Diaby has a lot of potential. They're going to price him out of a move more than I'd be prepared to pay. Neto, if they're asking for 75 million for Ruben Neves, what the hell are they going to say for you? Which is gonna be jarring, man. Which is something to consider. They could grow to that, but that's my thing, that's my thing, Charlie. If you can get players that scare Dons, obviously Rafinha is in Alexis, but Dons that are on that, I'm not on bringing in no wingers that are just other development players. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rules, but I don't, again, unless there's mad development that Arteta does or a year from now, I don't see the point in signing these Noah Langs, these Pepes, these Gakpos and all these things. If they're not better than what we have, it's meaty, man. Why don't we make a 34 million bid for Tielemans? I mean, if they're saying 30, I think Arsenal are right to say 25. We'll get there, really. Why, if they're saying 30, why would you ask for 34? Just because you got money don't mean you should spend it. I mean, by all means, Arsenal have a lot of problems in the transfer market and do a lot of stupid stuff. But yeah, man, I don't think that's a good bit of business. And I'm not saying you, but certain people were advocating spending 70, 80 million quid on Isaac. Crazy. If they don't want Torreira, get in the bread then, man. Bro, do I look like the feds, bro? Stop fucking asking me about Thomas Partey, blood. What do you mean, please tell you? I don't know, bro. Go and fucking talk to someone who knows, bro. Or wait till things happen. Stop asking me. Am I his dad, bro? Am I his brother? Am I a fed? Am I a journalist? Stop fucking up. Well, probably that. Stop fucking asking me about Partey, man. Fuck's sake, bro. What's wrong with you, look? Fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Fuck off with that, man. The fuck? Wait till information comes out. Have you woke up and seen anything? Until then, shut the fuck up and wait until things come up happen to you, lot. Weirdos, man. Allow me, bro. Apologies for the language, but allow it now, man. Please, man. It's long, bro. It's long. Allow it, bro. Please, man. I don't know about none of that, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Come on, Kevin, shout yourself. Big up yourself, DG. You've always been real with your content. Locked in from Antigua. Shout the Antiguans. Man's got the fresh trim. Midfield is our priority. Just want Arsenal to do the right thing, bro. Kevin, you said it there. It's easier said than done, but you just want us to do the right thing, man. As I said, we'll have an opinion, but I'll shut my mouth until September the 1st when the window's closed. But once that window's closed, I want to be able to believe in our midfield specifically, among the other things you lot have been saying, man. Yep, you ain't doing this without fear factor. I think we've got that a bit. I think Martinelli's got a bit of that. Saka's got a bit of that, like Charlie said. But Rafinha has that. I think Gakpo's one of them players. He's just going to do the Rashford and Martial thing unless you have a manager that's really going to work with him. And we've already got development players in them positions. One area I'm actually confident about with Arsenal is our wide options. It's not amazing, but, we've got Martinelli. Smith Rowe can do a job out there. You can force it and say Fabio Vieira. You've got Saka there. If you can bring in someone that's better than what we got or makes us stand up and whatnot, then it is what it is. You could force it and say Jesus could play out there. So if we're not bringing in better than what we have, I'm not on it personally. I can't sit here and lie, man. It don't make sense to me. By all means, do this youngster thing, but you can't have 25. You can. It's not even an age thing. It's just none of these players are the finished article. How realistic is it to expect 25 players, or I'm exaggerating, or 11 players or 9 players to all develop? They're all going to develop at different rates. Squads don't really stay together as well. It's unrealistic. Do we give Hecky B a chance? No. His name ain't Biggie. Gally are not singing for one more chance with him. That's dead, bro. He's shit. Like, big up Bellerin. I like Bellerin, but it's dead, man. It's not getting it. I'm calm, my guy. It's just it needs to be said. Allow me, bro. Allow me, fam. You're right, though, man. You're right, though. Hey, man, I apologize for the language, but at the same time, we're all football fans. Like, you think these footballers don't swear? And at the same time, I'll reserve the right to say whatever the fuck I want to say on my channel. Let's never forget that. Like, we're all in this together, but this is a dictatorship. Moving like King Jong-un. We spent 35 million on Xhaka. Surely Tielemans is worth more. Last year contract helps. He probably is worth more, but it don't mean paying 35 million for him. Why would you pay if they're saying 30 million? Why on earth would you slap down 34, 35? At least at this moment in time where it appears there's no other interest. That don't make sense. Even though Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Bellerin are back, I wouldn't mind a good right back, but a certain midfielder should be our main target. I hear that, but realistically, it's Cedric being the backup. I don't think the door's closed to Bellerin being used by Arteta. It's more Bellerin's closed it because he don't want to go there. Ainsley can hang around like a bad smell, but I don't think you're going to get a new deal. I don't think you should get a new deal. I think it's time to move on, really, man. Appreciate that. Shout out, Will. I mean, it's done for Nelson, innit? I want Nelson to be on. I want Nelson to get a chance, but it's done now, innit? You need to go somewhere you're gonna play, somewhere you can settle down roots where 1 minute you're playing for half a season or not playing at all, or on the bench occasionally. Next minute you're in Holland, you might be somewhere else. Ainsley's the same. You don't need to go somewhere and just couple of years, a year, 18 months, 2 years. You're at the same club. You're feeling important because you're a key player. You've got stability and things like that. Appreciate that. FM is probably. Don't quote me. I'm gonna try, but I need to go out and grab 1-2 bits, so it might be unrealistic. But Love Island settings still. Twitch gang, make sure you're there. When you deep it, we actually have to sell hella man. There's bare dons you forget play for Arsenal Football Club. Runnison, I bet all of you forgot this guy was there. You know, we're not going to get rid of everyone, but Runnison, Nelson, Marie, Ainsley, bear the names you said. Obviously, some guys might find a role. I would have loved for Torreira to have found a role in this team and actually Ainsley to be part of the squad as well, but it's not adapting. And Nelson, they're the three I would fight tooth and nail to keep because Torreira is not an ability thing. It's just, I don't think Arteta's convinced. You're just soft. You just didn't get to grips with the way of life in England. It just never happened. I'll fight tooth and nail for Reece Nelson, but it's a bit meaty at this moment in time. And Arteta used to big you up all the time. He's not really doing that now. Ainsley, I think there's versatility there. I just think you need to accept you're a side man. But if you don't accept that, go somewhere else. You've got a new, by God's grace, there's no complications. His wife's pregnant. You're going to have a family soon. I know footballers move all over the place, but you can't be in London one time, then Rome the next time, then wherever you are next year. Ainsley, sit down and do your roots. And for Arsenal, like we did with Joe Willock and to a degree of Welby, sometimes we need to sell these dons. I remember some Arsenal fans didn't even want to sell Joe Willock. I'm not saying we shouldn't have, but sometimes when you play a guy into form, just get rid of them. We could have got 20 million from Wolves and Everton. It is what it is. For me, I'll be sitting there with Feyenoord and saying, yo, I heard you lot just, got the bag from Leeds. What are you lot saying for Reece Nelson? He's got a year left on his deal. You much 10 million to give us a buyback clause and a sell-on clause. Keep your done. But I don't know if Nelson wants to stay there full time. And to be fair, Nelson's shown he's on, he's had a loan spell in Germany, he's been in Holland and things like that. He's doing all right, man. I mean, if we're real, as I said, I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, but if we're real with ourselves, we're just saying that because Ainsley, because Ainsley's man them. You can't be 100% convinced in his capabilities at right back. I don't think him, Cedric, and Bellerin, they're all clear of each other. Ainsley's mandem, Bellerin's indirectly Halen, so I'll pick them above Cedric, but it's all meaty. The very fact that it's a conversation is meaty. Really, you should all get binned off, really. And if I'm honest with you, if a madness happens to Tomiyasu, I'm probably assuming we get Lissandro Martinez or another centre-back with Saliba coming in who can play right back, even though I'm not for that. I'm not going to sit here and catch you. I'm playing Ben White right back before Cedric, Bellerin and Suarez, if I'm completely honest with you. So it's probably there. He does have versatility. But versatility for what, though? What is Ainsley? Is he a centre mid able to play right back? Or is a right back able to play in midfield? There's no point being versatile if you're meaty. It's like Tavares, people are saying he's a right back if you're meaty. You actually have to be good. That's why I don't mind. Yo, Tomiyasu, if something happens, he can fill in at left back. He's a right back. He can obviously play at centre back. It don't matter unless you're good. You do need to find a buyer. But one thing that should help Arsenal is Ainsley needs to you need to get your career moving. Pepe, you need to get your career moving. So what are you not paying your agents for? I said them two because they've got new agents now. If you're saying keep Ainsley Maitland, obviously I would love for him to go somewhere we sit here and say, oh, bloody hell, why did we get rid of him? on it, and this is someone who who loves the young players and things like that and gasses them up. So nobody would want these Haaland boys to make it more than me. But if you're screaming Ainsley Maitland-Niles to make it at Arsenal Football Club in 2022, it's an emotional thing. You're not looking at it on what we need. You know, you're them fans that were crying about him being dropped for Newcastle. Of course he's going to get dropped for Newcastle. As much as you get onto Arteta, you can't expect him to play everyone and give everybody a chance and then have stability by playing the same players and fluidity and things and players learn the system and get 3 points. You can't. You can't. Should we have kept Chambers? Probably from now to the end of the season, really, because again, Chambers probably would have got collapsed as well, but I think Chambers would have went out a bit better. He wouldn't have went outside a certain man at Newcastle and Spurs, if I'm honest with you. If I'm completely honest with you. Big up you lot. 800 of you locked in. This is crazy, man. Shout out to you lot across Twitch and YouTube, people. But yeah, like I said, bro, even me, I want Reece Nelson to be here, Ainsley to be here. We're saying that because Lenting, there's no way you look at them, forget ability, because clearly they've got ability or they wouldn't be playing Premier League football in some degree. You're doing the emotion thing. You're not doing it with logic. There's no way you can look at them and say, yo, they're helpful to us getting top 4 beyond hanging around like spare parts and being used as, you know, if we need bodies. Not a bad stream to watch while having lunch. Big up all the lunch bait dons. Some of our fans got an addiction with bro, some of our fans waffle about high standards. They're meaty. You know, big up El Nene, but he's going to have to catch a stray. He's calm for the squad. A lot of our fans sit there and say, oh, El Nene shouldn't be here. 3 good games. They're dropping their knickers about new deal. A lot of you shouldn't, in life, you shouldn't ask anything of other people that you're not doing yourselves. Fans say some meaty transfer targets. They start falling in love with some meaty players. You know, they start crying for meaty players to start. They start banging on for young players to start. They're the first to turn on them. To a degree, fans chat a lot of shit, myself included. I'm no different. Pardon the French once again. Thoughts on Saliba for this season? Hope he gets opportunities, bro, man. Exactly. Ainsley used to be the guy in the back 3. And to be fair, there was a time where there was injuries at right back. And we said Ainsley isn't playing unless there's a shift to a back 3. And to a degree, if you're a fullback who looks better in a back 3, you're in problems. It's like a defender. I'm not belittling a back 3, but if you're a centre back and you look better as a back 3 than in a 2, you're not a good defender. You're not. Yeah, it could be the system and things, but there's clearly something dodgy with you. Some of these names, man, are recommending a toilet should be nowhere near a club like Arsenal. Bruv, you know when Top Blues not defending Arsenal, but keeping it trill, there's got to be something there in it, really, you know. Big up you for tuning in. Shout everyone, man. First game is Friday in Germany. I'll be doing a watch-along for that across YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you're keeping an eye on that. Half an hour / an hour before kickoff. If Tomiyasu is injured, I'm playing back 3. Gabriel, Saliba, White, Lisandro Martinez are defenders I trust the most. No injuries and good ability. I hear you, but, you know, with the exception of Lisandro Martinez, we're talking like he's signed for us. I mean, I would like to see Pepe get another chance if he doesn't get sold, but I'm bored with it. I didn't say Ainsley's a bad player, but, you know, players are going to have the occasional good game, you know. Again, he just needs, Arsenal and him need to divorce. I would love for that not to be a thing. We need to keep it moving, bro. You know, if we're talking about City in the Cup, 1 game for as long as he's been here. Ainsley Maitland-Niles' best strength and best weakness is that he's so calm in possession. Sometimes in the middle of the park, that's alarm bells. I do think Jesus is a great signing for us, and, you know, hopefully he can show that to the world, really and truly. 10 more likes until we've hit 400 people. Top form from everybody. Top form. Thank you very much. Pepe needs to listen to instructions. All this sideways and backwards BS. My guy needs to watch Zaha. Crazy, man. He can play fullback or wing back on both sides. But he's not even a jack of all trades. Listen, Ainsley can stay, as I said, but we're capping to ourselves, bro. Ainsley can't play centre mid in Premier League. I mean, he did for West Brom, to be fair, but it was Gallagher shining. Who would you play in midfield personally? We should have Tielemans, Savic, and Odegaard. Yeah, them lot to go with Partey. Calm. To me, we should always be asking, what would Man City and Liverpool do? Players like Ainsley are nowhere near the squad standard. We should be focusing on getting a right back better than Tomiyasu next season instead. I hear that. I can't disagree with that logic. That's some calm logic. I hear that. When is Austin Tusty coming into the team? Not a clue, man. In the cup versus, I can't believe I can't tell you that. We should be talking to Douglas Luiz. He could be going AC Milan. That would be lit. Milinkovic-Savic and Partey, Odegaard in there cooking as well. Could be lit, man. Sincerely hope we can secure another midfielder before the pre-season tour. My word, same, man. We're playing on Friday. Yeah, 4:30 UK time. If you're not in the UK, then obviously adjust your clocks and make sure you're there. Obviously, where YouTube's concerned, I'll get a thumbnail and a stream. You know, like obviously a couple of days before I get the stream thing going, and you can set your reminders and all them things. That will get going. Twitch gang soon. It will be in your schedules, innit? How much is Tielemans going for with it? Yeah, you see 25 million to 30 million. Bro, Bellerin's had some sick games. Bellerin's moved to Chelsea, moved to City, moved to Liverpool. You know, he's actually had, bro, when he got spammed by Douglas Costa, he did a get back. It's done, though. There is a DG Nation FPL league, my guy. Where would you rank a Partey, Milinkovic-Savic midfield in the league? In my opinion, top 3, maybe top 2. I mean, it's difficult to hypothetically talk about things that haven't happened, but whatever City can put together, whether it might not look glamorous or not, there are many combinations are clear. I think with Fabinho and Thiago and things like that, I'd put Liverpool's above that. I don't think you can discredit Chelsea. I know Kante ain't been in the best of form. I know Jorginho, this and that, and Kovacic is my guy. I think that's up there. Pardon me. You know, I'd probably say SMS and Partey are better, but Basuma, Bentancur, that looks like a decent little option, really and truly a pivot. So it would be up there. It'll definitely be top 5. I don't know for top 3 and things like that. Is there a stream anyway for the Friday game? There's got to be. It'll probably be on Arsenal Player or something. My guess is it will be on Arsenal Player. I'd imagine so. Chelsea's double or Meedy. I hear that. It happens, man. Bellerin's just lost himself, man. Yeah, Tony, you lot are sourcing, really. You know, Newcastle. I thought you would have got some more glamorous players in by now. And I think you lot will get 1-2 decent guys in. Talking of Kante, I'd take him. Nah, he's gone. I would, but Kante's gone into uncle mode now, man. I'm seeing the belly. I'm seeing him play with super malt in his hand. I'm seeing him play with them barbecue. You see that the chefs at barbecues where they got the open toe sandals. Kante's starting to play like an uncle, man. He's starting to play like an uncle in the barbers that only cuts old men and little kids' hair, man, because he's not 30. It's long, man. Kante's losing the powers, man, and I'm Kante's biggest fan. We don't want to be left holding that one there, man. Hey, what do you mean Kante plays like me, blood? When you seen Kante do this, blood? Allow me, bro. One go wonder. Top Blue, when have you done that? Like, bro. Kante, rise that up, man. Pause. Like, man, I can't be doing that. Kante isn't the player what he's used to be, but he would still help us out a bloody lot. But the problem is, a bit like Partey, these men start showing their real ages. It's going to be 2 50-year-olds in the midfield. It's long, bro. Like, it's long. It's long. Would you prefer the left 8 to have some more physicality like Savic or Ruiz, or be more mobile like Smith Rowe and Tielemans? I mean, you want it all, innit? You want physicality, you want technical quality. Both, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. Both. Man said kick and run, Merchant. You can't kick or run. All you do is run your mouth in the comments. Shut up, Top Blue, mate, you Chelsea prick. Shut up, mate. Stop chatting. Do some slappings. I feel like John Terry when he's talking about Robbie Savage. I'll take it from Rio and this guy, but not bloody Top Blue, the Chelsea fan. Can't even see his DP. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, bro. Clips on standby, bro. Ready, like a Cyrat done. Ready. So it's all I got, mate. It's all I got. Hey, DG, hope you're well. Don't want to see Xhaka start against Palace. Rather Partey and Nene starting. Just trying to be real. May not get another midfielder. The revolving circus. Hopefully Arsenal don't live up to your name. There's nothing I can say to that. What, you think Ronaldo's not got that 40-yard banger against Porto and the free kick against Portsmouth? You don't think Bukayo Saka's not got the City goal on standby? You don't think Thierry Henry's got the various ones against Spurs and United? You don't think Zidane's won in the Champions League? When you're part of that club of elite players that do elite things, this is what happens. This is what happens. Hey, where's my phone as well? I swear I'll put it on social. Someone's talking about the clip of the dribbling. It didn't bang. But Top Blue, you can't do this. You can't do this. Where is it? You definitely don't look that good as well. Hey, shit. I'm looking sexy and where is it?
Low key, I'm kind of lit. This went in. This would have been a magic. See ya, mate. See ya.
Kick.
Wait for me, mate. Thank you.
Bring it back. I wasn't holding it properly.
Shock it off balance, but my old memory card. Low key, I'm kind of lit. This went in. This would have been a magic. See ya, mate. See ya.
Oh, kick and run merchant, you know. Kick and run merchant, you know. Hit the post. Crossbar settings. Wait for it. Yeah, make the fans go crazy, bro. Shut up, bro. Shut up, man. Top Blue's my guy, but shut up, man. I'm going gym now. You want me to take a picture? I don't, bro. Chelsea fans, I don't know what you lot are on. That shout outs to the day, man. You know, I don't know what you're on. That's good for you, mate. You only got one thing. Finish on that, to be fair. See, you're a real one. The real ones don't hate. You lot struggled me, man. Anyways, man. I don't know what you're saying, but shout out to you. What do you think about getting a new 6? I mean, I wouldn't mind it if Basuma could have arrived to this club. I would have loved it, but I do have Lokonga stocks. I still think there's a player in Lokonga. Second season, I need to see a lot more, but I think with Lokonga's second season and not going out alone, with El Nene new deal, with Partey being there, with our problems, you know, our team being running through Xhaka, I think it was unrealistic to expect a 6. Now, if I could, I would have loved Arsenal to have signed the number 6 and 2 8s as I was saying at the start of, well, when we started doing the transfer streams. But yeah, man, I don't know what you meant, bro. I don't know what you meant, my guy, man. Yeah, I can only go off that, man. Arsenal's priority should be getting a left back and right back. Last season, they sweated without Tierney and Tomiyasu. Savic would be a good signing. Bills, you're right, man. There's not one player, Arsenal player, that can get into the Chelsea first team. That's cap. But okay, you bloody hell, you ain't got centre backs at this moment in time. From I see Sarr playing, every flipping centre back connected to Arsenal Football Club that I was playing on a regular basis walks in there. Who's your right back? Well, Reece James, to be fair. Tomiyasu could play centre back at your club as well as right back, depending on what you do with Reece James. Saka plays. Do not cap. From I'm seeing Werner, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi. Them wingers are there. Smith Rowe's playing. You saw them man do the business at the Stamford Bridge dance floor. Come on. In fact, they might not, you know, because none of them got that Raheem Sterling running style. That's what you lot want. Allow it, man. Don't tell lies, bro. Fuck out of here with that, man. If I had that goal, it'd be a screensaver on my phone. Hey, NFT settings, man. In my opinion, we don't need defenders. Let's keep Marie. That's a big up you, but I saw let's keep Marie. That's the end of that. That's the end of that. I'm out of that, man. I'm out of that. I don't need that. It's a nice day out there. I can't hear that, man. DG, I'm thinking the link /bids maze to SMS may be a ploy to get Leicester to drop their asking price. It might be. We all want Gnabry, but it's a madness, man. Smith Rowe ain't getting into your team. Shit, Saka is. Smith Rowe 100% plays, man. But I'm just gonna have to keep dancing at the Stamford Bridge dance floor where you got Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech, bare meaty dons. Not a single player excelling. Lukaku playing. I have to be cheap. You can't tell until Chelsea pattern that up. You can't get onto, man. Allow it, bro. Man, they're just chatting. But that's Chelsea. This is Arsenal. Don't give a flying monkeys what Chelsea are doing or not doing. Saying that, I'm an Arsenal man. Chelsea, if you need a scout, present, or any of these things, shout me. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Ashley Cole settings. JA on JA violence. Raza can't help the T-Rex arms. Running like Shelley and Fraser and that. Man said Maria had to leave, bro. I like, bro. Jesus. They tried to buy him. He rejected them. Oh, hey. Eddie. The real, you know, he's a Chelsea lad. Arsenal might not be doing ish. That's cool, man. You're trying to hurt my feelings. Not hurt my feelings. You know I live for this. Arsenal not doing anything. Hey, Top Blue. Is that what you're on? Hey, Martinelli. You know they like scrappy wingers as well. Hey, F, we know that. It's banter, mate. Stop crying. You got all this, man, but you'll finish fifth. Listen, it's a nice day outside. You're here as part of the community. We're enjoying talking about football. Release all of that stress, my guy. Just let it out. Pause, man. Just calm down, bro. Why are you so rattled? Why are you so upset? If ranting about football is the most thing of your life right now, then your life is great, bro. Relax, my brother. Do some yoga. Relax, my guy. Chill out, bro. It's not that deep. Come on, bro. Please stop asking me that certain question, please. All right, if you're good, shut up then, man. Is it worth a season just polishing the Conga? Alex Song. If I speak on Alex Song, Arsenal fans will disown me, but yeah, man. Lokonga's got one more season. If not, hit some loans, make the peas, make the bread. What new player are you looking forward to seeing play the most? I mean, we're cheating the game. Saliba's not a new player, but if you want to throw him into that and say it's like a new signing word to Arsene Wenger, then we'll throw him into that. Apart from that, the bar's on the floor, really. It's just a Gabriel Jesus. Respectfully, Marquinhos, you're Brazilian, so I want to see what you're about, but yeah, I'm not expecting too much. Matt Turner and Aaron Tusty, and if there's anyone else, it's just Meaty Dons, really, innit? So I don't really care for that. Why are we writing off Pepe already? No one's right. Well, I'm not writing off Pepe. I just don't care for it. If he stays, give him a chance. But I'm not pinning my. I know there's new season optimism, but I'm not pinning my hopes on Pepe, on Ainsley Maitland-Niles, on Cedric, on Rob Holding, on the existing options in midfield. Like, we've seen this story, man. We've seen this story. So by all means, have it. But I'm not pinning my hopes on that. And if he doesn't leave and you don't bring in a winger, fair play. But are you not bored of watching the same story over and over and over again? Are you not bored of it? Like, you lot almost as insane as certain people expecting our midfielders to do the business. But you know what? It is what it is, man. Pepe Almarignon. Who's Almarignon? Like, bro. Would you take Zaha for Pepe exchanging 20 mil? Cut the 20 mil, man. Let's just sign Zaha and Pepe go there on loan, man. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Big up you lot. Lissandro Martinez, we keep hearing about Donny. He hasn't landed, in it. Arteta doesn't rate Pepe. But hey, Pepe might not even rate himself at this moment. If you rate yourself, you'll leave the club. And is there any other transfer need? You don't need to lie to me, man. I didn't even talk about it, but I saw Arsenal link with Cristiano Ronaldo today. The journalists are not even trying, man. Like, they're not even trying, bro. They're not even trying that. Trust. Zaha's a baller, man. Wow. And we beat Newcastle at our place. Okay. We lost to Nottingham Forest. Like, I don't hear them waffling. All right. We lost to Brighton. I don't hear them gassing up Mupé and that. That's good for Almarignon. Like, a broken clock's gonna be right twice a day, bro. I still don't know who he is. That's why Grealish is sending for him. He's fucking shit. Them man there play soccer. Cool story, bro. Tielemans or Savic? Savic, because he looks savage, but Tielemans is calm, man. Savic is true. All right, we got an agent here. Hopefully it does happen then. See, you know yourself, he's shy, blood. Your Newcastle fans will dance for Pepe. Look how much they're excited about St. Maximin. That'll be a good club for him, really and truly. Gets to turn it on whenever he feels like people leave him alone. I don't know why people turn up their nose at Asensio, but I can't see it happening. If Zaha's rusty, then I don't know what's to be said. I don't know for Vieira banging, pause. My expectations are, I don't expect much. I expect you to be a rotation option in your first year, squad player, and then it's down to you to take it wherever you want to take it. You can send Hudson-Odoi there as well. That's his level. Listen, Hudson-Odoi, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hudson-Odoi should go uni. St. Maximin is better than Pepe. They're both shites, bro. Like, shites a myth. But, bro, you got a bag of party tricks. They both play like they're holding a spliff in their hands. Great stuff. They play football like they're you see Sunday League. There's always that one guy who's blessed technically, but he wears 2 different color boots. He's forgot his boots in the car. He's not got shin pads. The tape's not there. That's their man there, bro. That's their man there, man. See, why did you see Hudson-Odoi at uni? You see, he was already getting the prospectuses and that. Shout out Hudson-Odoi, the first guy I've seen to go level 1, all blacked out haircut, get rid of the funny man highlights and still not do a madness. He's shite. But shout out to him though. Man are getting paid 100 grand a week off the racist done. So listen, that's one way of fighting against the man and that. So big up to him for that. I'll never hate on man. That man that was saying Haaland to do you remember that early days in these live streams? Why don't we just put the £75 million down for Haaland? Hey, you gotta love Arsenal fans sometimes, man. Trash versus garbage, blood. I'm not swallowing for 1 second. Yo, brother. What? It's Arteta's fault that Pepe hasn't been a success at Arsenal. All right, man. Pepe's had 2 different coaches. If anything, Pepe's probably looked the best at Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. At one point in life, are you going to blame yourself? And this is where I'm at, Gary. I don't care if it's Arteta. I don't care if it's just Pepe. I just don't want it to be a talking point anymore. I just don't care. Like, just someone else now. We've done this now. Someone else now. Bro, looking at bro, Gabriel's got money, bro. Look at you going for the low blows. Yeah, some people overrate Maxi because they don't watch him give the ball away all the time. He's better than Pepe. I don't know about that. And I mean, it's not really a blind spot for that. I mean, all I've got to say is, St. Maximin's been on the scene for a while. There's a reason to this date. He's at Nice. He's at Newcastle. But he'll soon be a Champions League club. Thoughts on DRB lit, but they're going to ask an arm and a leg for him that he's not worth in my thing. Fire for that, man. People can swallow, pause, whatever they want to swallow. And on that note, it's getting a bit weird now. Obviously, people, I'll be back later, definitely for Love Island, maybe for another live stream. What's the time? I should be able to just about catch that train. So, yeah, man, I've got to get a train at 2:08. Go and handle what I need to handle. So, yeah, big up you lot for being locked in. The talking points, the banter, the engagement levels, Arsenal fan or not, YouTube or Twitch, has been amazing. When I get the time, I'll cut up these clips and then obviously you'll get what you're getting. We'll be live to watch Love Island on Twitch again. And at 8:45, make sure you're following on Twitch and them things there. Most importantly, you lot, with it being the halfway point of the week, stay in good health, stay safe, stay attacking your goals. And I love and leave you lot, people. On that note, peace.
There's always just that active red light defending. I think it's like